A very good evening and welcome to the news at 10 here at Eswatini TV. My name is Sanabo Ngwana. I'm with Zamanzi Manzi. We're coming to you live from the Hospital Hill Studios in Babane. First, the headlines tonight. His Majesty King Eswatini III has met with the President of the Republic of Singapore. The Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation says bilateral talks which took place at the State House between His Majesty King Eswatini III and the President of Singapore will develop existing bilateral relations between the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Singapore. And the Deputy Prime Minister says no person should be hidden because of their disability, as doing so deprives them of assistance from government. Good evening, the news in detail. His Majesty King Eswatini III has met with the President of the Republic of Singapore, and the King and the President had bilateral talks during the visit to the State House.
His Majesty King Eswatini III arrived at the State House, whereby His Majesty was welcomed by the President of the Republic of Singapore, His Excellency Tharman Shanmugaratnam. The President was sworn into office on 14 September 2023. The Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Singapore have long-standing bilateral relations which have greatly benefited both countries. The two countries are members of the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, and the Commonwealth of Nations, just to name a few. As part of the welcoming ceremony, His Majesty King Eswatini III signed a visitor's book. The two leaders then had a meeting. The aim of the meeting between the leaders was to strengthen political, economical, and social relations through existing bilateral agreements and high-level engagements. During the meeting, His Majesty and the President discussed various issues of mutual interest, including strengthening bilateral relations and cooperation. Also present during the courtesy call was the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Senator Polile Shakantu, and Eswatini High Commission to the Republic of Singapore. The Republic of Singapore has not just strengthened economic relations with only the Kingdom of Eswatini, but with the entire African continent, as there have been agreements that have been signed between the continent and the country. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia with Tabiso Dlamini in Singapore.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Senator Polile Shakantu, says bilateral talks which took place at the State House between His Majesty King Eswatini III and the President of Singapore will further develop the existing bilateral relations between the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Singapore. Now, the Minister revealed this after His Majesty paid a courtesy call on the President of Singapore.
His Majesty had a successful visit to see the President of the Republic of Singapore. In their discussions, the two heads of state looked at strengthening the relations between our two countries. How it benefits us as a kingdom is that when we visit other developed countries, we're able to see firsthand, and we are also able to have discussions with our counterparts in the different ministries to explore and look at the policies and the programs that they have implemented as a government, which has helped them to develop in specific areas. So being part of His Majesty's travels is helpful to us, especially as government, in that we're able to see firsthand the first world vision that His Majesty is desiring for the Kingdom of Eswatini, and we are also able to have meaningful discussions with our counterparts, and we are able to explore and look at the policies that the governments in the respective countries where we visit, the policies and the programs that the governments have implemented to reach their development. And we are also able to look at specifically other opportunities that we may explore as a government in terms of improving our relations diplomatically and also in the areas of trade.
The Deputy Prime Minister, Senator Thuli Ladla, says no person should be hidden because of their disability, as by doing so, that person becomes deprived of assistance from government. The Deputy Prime Minister was speaking at the George Hotel on Wednesday during the launch of the Disability Action Plan for the year 2024 or 2028.
Speaking during the launch of the 2024-2028 Disability Action Plan, the Deputy Prime Minister, Senator Thuli Ladla, says, amongst other things, the action plan seeks to ensure that people with disabilities are not left behind on issues of development. The Deputy Prime Minister says each and every ministry has a role to play on this.
Each and every institution of importance, ngaba health, onke nje magunya ka-RA, lapho sonke sithola iservice lemcoka. Ukhanzeka ukuthi bakhona be-sign language. Ukhona nalomile lapha lotawubona ukuthi bonke bayasitakala.
She emphasizes that action plan will identify what needs money and what does not, so that it is acted upon quickly. Senator Stuki Mota says people with disabilities still struggle to get jobs. They are stigmatized, amongst other things, but uploaded the action plan which seeks to bring inclusion. Memory Zulu, who represented UNESCO Southern Africa, applauded Eswatini for prioritizing the lives of people with disabilities.
We've also seen that what has made this work also quite interesting for Eswatini is how you've meaningfully engaged diverse groups of persons with disabilities. As you are aware, colleagues, persons with disabilities are not a homogeneous group.
Portfolio committees were also part of the launch. For Eswatini TV News, I am Kiani Msibi with Nompumelelo Kumalo and Marilyn Nyiranshuti Manzini.
The Minister of Health, the Honorable Mduduzi Matsabula, says all those in the business of food production must ensure that they sell safe food to consumers. The Minister says unsafe food can result to diarrhea and other related diseases. The Minister was speaking at the George Hotel on Wednesday during the commemoration of Food Safety Day.
Speaking during the commemoration of the World Food Safety Day, the Minister of Health, Honorable Mduduzi Matsabula, says food safety is an integral factor to ensure that the food we eat is safe for consumers. He says if food is not handled accordingly, it can be another source of diarrhea and other food-related diseases.
Food safety is therefore an integral factor to ensure that the food we eat is safe for consumers. If food is not handled in a safe manner, it can also be another source of diarrhea and other food-related diseases.
Dr. Makdim Ayana, who represented the WHO country representative, says food safety is crucial.
Every day, on average, 1.6 million people get sick due to unsafe food, which is contaminated with bacteria, viruses, and chemicals. Every year, about 600 million people fall sick as a result of around 200 different types of food illnesses. The burden of such illnesses fall most heavily on the poor and on the young.
Environmental health inspectors say as they were inspecting, they found a lot of irregularities. They say the lack of a national food laboratory hinders development of new technologies and proper inspection. For Eswatini TV News, I am Kian Msibi with Nompumelelo Kumalo in Maryland, Niranshuti, Manzini.
The Minister of Tingundla, the Honorable Skumbuzo Dlamini, with the ministry's portfolio committee, has handed over a TLP, tractor and a chicken shed to 3 different associations at the Lukongolweni constituency. Now, the minister says people should be encouraged to go to their constituencies and bring ideas that will enable them to start their own businesses.
Minister of Tingundla Administration and Development, Honorable Skumbuzo Dlamini, has officially handed over the Regional Development Fund project at Lukongolweni constituency. Mateta Multipurpose Cooperative received a tractor loader backhoe, Sbovini farmers received a tractor, and Lamvusi farmers received chicken shed, chicks, medication and feed.
Handing over today a confirmation of many income-generating projects funded through the Regional Development Fund, which is His Majesty King George III's brainchild. These projects directly address the objective of the Regional Development Fund, that is poverty alleviation in each of the 4 regions of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Ingwenyama, as a visionary leader, introduced RDF to minimize the rural-urban dichotomy in the kingdom.
The cooperative members extended their gratitude towards the ministry.
Akuzuzi nje emalunga alenhlangano kuphela nemango uyazuza ngoba nawo uyakhona ukuqasha sikhulumba la enhlanganweni yasesibovini ukone kulima ngesikhathi la sifunayo.
Sala ngekukuza libayethu. Ngithi bayethu wona waphakathi. Impilo into iguqukile ngoba nasemakhaya beside lithemba ngoba sisehlanzeni lapho khona kunelilanga leligangathu. Lapho khona noma ngawuyile kuyolima ubona ngako kude lokusamila sesiyaphila namuhla.
Galanga Chief Josana Mazia says it is projects like this that aim at improving the community as a whole.
Lapha ukhomba ukuthi lokho labasilethele bona siyakuthokodela. Nalabangekho lamatiko lashodabo siyabacela ukuthi awu bekunene ulumende akabuye phela baphelele tokhona kusitakala sonke lesivesala ekithi.
A total number of 308 Emaswati will directly benefit from the project, and about 3 people have been employed thus far, which demonstrate government's dedication to fostering economic growth and improving the socio-economic conditions of Emaswati by generating employment opportunities and enhancing wealth accumulation through RDF. Reporting, I am Tembeli Sema Kuchwa at Lukongolweni.
The Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, the Honorable Jane Simelane, who is represented by Vusi Dlamini, has said the ministry applauds innovative activities such as the Mahamba Gorge hiking, which support and contribute towards the country's goal of reaching 2 million international tourists by the year 2030.
The Mahamba Gorge hiking has awarded companies and pioneers of the campaign. The organization has mandated itself in that proceeds collected from the hiking expedition are used to cater for different areas of needs in the Shisoleni region. The Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Jane Simelane, who was represented by Vusi Dlamini, has commended the unity among the leadership of Mahamba Gorge hiking.
As we have heard, the first edition of Mahamba Gorge hiking sport was held in March 2014 and has seen a steady rise in numbers, growing from about 900 people in attendance in the first hike. And over the years, this has increased to over 4,000 people. It started as a domestic tourism attraction, but has now attracted tourists from neighboring countries, with numbers increasing annually. As a ministry responsible for tourism, we applaud such innovative initiatives that support tourism and contribute towards our goal as a country of reaching 2 million tourists arriving in the country, as well as 2 billion in receipts that we expect to receive by 2027.
The chairperson of the Mahamba Gorge hiking, Dixon Kumalo, has mentioned some of this year's project proposals.
Utaba ne 10 schools, that the tikolo leting 10 2. Lapha bese bakhona imahamba primary and high school. Ube kusemakhosini primary and high school. Ube seThokotani community. Ube seNsongweni primary and high. Nehlathi Khulu girls home. Bonke ke labo kunesinqomo ukuthi akube khona labakutholako. Lapho kunesponsor lesimqoka lapha ngoStandard Bank. Wethembise ukuthi utawusifakela 92,500. Singena etakhiweni letawuphindze ifake le food aid. Lapho kutaba khona emsibini i-beneficiary lenkulu ngibona batawuthola. Sponsor lesikhulu kutaba inhlonhla investment lefake 32,500. Nasitibala tonke ke letimali leti contribution yemahamba coach hiking isicishe 227,000.
The patron of the Mahamba Coach hiking, Themba Masuku, has announced the 27th of April 2025 as the official date of the campaign's 11th edition, under the theme Hiking Towards a Safer, Crime-Free and Environmental-Friendly Society. Part of the day's activities was a donation of 250 school shoes by Standard Bank and Woolworths. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Thando Mdluli, Tlangano.
The World Health Organization says Parliament plays an integral part in ensuring that African countries are better prepared for emergencies. Now, this was said by the World Health Organization Africa Region Senior Emergency Officer, Dr. Solomon Wodelstatic, during a meeting with parliamentarians.
The World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa, in partnership with the Ministry of Health, hosted an emergency preparedness and response flagship initiative for Parliament's health portfolio committees. Senior Emergency Officer at WHO Africa said Parliament is an important part of the initiative.
We are having emergencies very frequently. In Africa region, we register more than 100 emergencies every year and affecting millions of people. So in 2022, the Ministers of Health of the WHO Africa region, they met in Lome and they endorsed a regional strategy for strengthening health security. This cannot be done by the Minister of Health as well, and the parliamentarians are really very important in knowing where the country is standing and also supporting in the implementation of the roadmap that's going to be developed.
Members of both health portfolio committees shared how critical their role is in ensuring proper readiness of the Kingdom of Eswatini in emergencies.
Umuntu uyafundziswa ukuthi makwehleke into lenje ungabukwesaba ngoba nje sibonile labanye bebesaba ngisho hlobo dabo ngalesikhathi sinemkhuhlane asesithatha kuchamuka ke lokumatima kufuna nathi sibe bantu lesebalungele sibe sinado imali sibe sikwadi ukuthi thina sibantu sitishaya umthetho sishaya imithetho lehambelana nalo kugijima singabe sichamuke nje sesiyadadatela kanti kuhle lo uhlale ulungele ube ngumuntu lohlelekile ube ngumuntu lotimisele ukuthi machamuka lokho sidabe sinabo bupeni bekusebenta lapha.
Njenga separlamente nje kufuna si ensure ukuthi lama policies nale legislative siyayenda speed up ngoba ema-pandemics lafana siwabonile itolo nyalo nje sikhuluma ngetindzaba tabo climate change sibonile even ukuthi impact le bekhona, so the country has to be ready.
The World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa hosted such meetings in over 20 African countries. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza, Babane.
Right, with that, we shift gears into the world of business, where we take a look at financial indicators. They'll give us a sense of our markets further today in our financial report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Sihlangu Samnegati head coach Dominic Gnene has been sacked over 3 years in charge of the national team. Now, the under-national team coach Fiso Nyurundibane will be head of the team ahead of the 2024 COSAFA tournament later this month, while the process of hiring a new coach continues.
So lesibonile lokuthi uma siya embili labo coach.
According to the National Football Association President Peter Samrasimirane, national team head coach technical bench headed by Dominic Nene are being relieved from their duties with immediate effect. Simirane says the national team under 23 coach Sfiso Nurundibane, who was the assistant in the previous technical bench of the national team Sihlangu Samnegati, will be in charge ahead of the COSAFA tournament later this month, where after that a proper decision will be made about the future of the national team coach. The decision of moving with the under-23 coach, as Simirane highlighted, is in line with the youth players' attraction as they prepare for the future. Simirane concluded saying that Ndibane will be assisted by the under-20 and the under-17 coaches and will select their own squad ahead of the COSAFA tournament.
Ngiyabona ngiyo le misunderstandings lebesiba khona, but ke ngalokho sekune gap seyipostponiwe i-COSAFA to a later date, then we need to re-strategize and come up with new ideas.
The High Court has ruled on the matter between Manzini Wanderers and Denver Sundowns. The matter was before Judge Bongos Makakula.
On Wednesday, the matter between Manzini Wanderers and Denver Sundowns proceeded at the High Court, where on Monday this week, the Manzini Wanderers Football Club filed an urgent application to the High Court seeking assistance to get Chief Immigration at the Ministry of Home Affairs to come and testify before the disciplinary committee of the National Football Association. On Wednesday, it was expected that the court release the ruling on the matter. As the court began, Smanga Hlego, representing the Ministry of Home Affairs, told the court that all parties involved in the matter, being Denver Sundowns Football Association and the Premier League of Eswatini, have no more opposition, or rather are no more opposing to the application filed by Wanderers seeking for assistance to subpoena the Chief Immigration Officer. The court then ruled in favor of all parties and granted the wish that the Chief Immigration must proceed and go testify before the disciplinary committee of the National Football Association on a date to be confirmed. The matter in court was before Judge Bongos Makakula. Denver Sundowns was represented by Zakere Ramini, while Manzini Wanderers was represented by Sfiso Jere. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msudara, High Court.
With those sports news, we conclude the news at 10 at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of top stories tonight. His Majesty King Mswati III has met with the President of the Republic of Singapore. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation says bilateral talks which took place at the State House between His Majesty King Mswati III and the President of Singapore will further develop the existing bilateral relations between the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Singapore. And the Deputy Prime Minister says no person should be hidden because of their disability, as by doing so, that person gets deprived of assistance from government. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the team at Eswatini TV. For now, it is a good night and God bless.